Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is Thursday night, time for another episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Jason Thrifts.
Hi, I'm Stub Lashes Deb. So I'll have to tell you about that.
Stub Lashes Deb? What the heck does that mean?
Well, I told you, I had a little incident with our fire pit. My first time turning on, I turned the key too high and I had a fireball in my face, singed my hair. I got out okay. Then the next day I went to put my mascara on. I'm like, oh my gosh, my eyelashes are gone on the right. Part of my eyebrows gone. And I'm like, oh, but at least I still got my hair.
No kidding. Good to see everybody. Let's get the show kicked off and we'll introduce you to our guest. Now it's time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug and try and match it up to my guest. And our guest this week is the man, the myth, the legend, Lonnie Oscar. How the hell are you, Lonnie?
I'm doing good, you crazies. How are you kids doing?
Great.
We are dandy. All right, so you, oddly enough, were a little trickier wandering around our house trying to figure out mug and rum. And since you live in the great state of Missouri and one of the greatest tiki bars is in that state, and you have a kitty cat, I decided to drink out of the tiki cat mug.
Oh, I like
very
it.
apropos. Plus, as a teaching lesson, I found one of these 2 weeks ago and paid $50 for it and flipped it within a week for $150.
Very nice.
They don't make this glaze anymore. And
I love the monochrome colors too. I love that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then the rum was stumping me. I'm like, all right, do we have a rum with anyone wearing a hat on the label? Like I couldn't. And then I saw this. I forgot I have this rum. It's relatively new in my collection. It's called Edgefield Distillery 3 Rocks rum. Nothing like there matches up to you. However, it's pretty much a poster for this label.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that's
nice. And if you can't really tell, but that's little skulls in the corner. So I mean, this is straight up.
Okay, that's appropriate.
Yeah. So cheers to you, sir. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Cheers as well.
What are you drinking, Deb?
Oh, I am drinking out of this. Do you recognize this? Do you know what this is?
That is, I have one and I can't think. Wow, I'm actually stumped.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of where that mug's from.
I'll give you a hint. Your mom knows where this is. Well, she knows where a lot of places are, but your mom goes here a lot.
Was it Porco's?
Who?
Was it Tiki Underground or Porco's?
Yeah, Tiki Underground.
Oh, totally forgot about that.
I don't think it's like their branded one, but it was their flea market day. I bought it from them. And inside, I discovered the adult Otter Pops at Costco. You put them in the freezer. So I have watermelon with a little bit of vodka in it.
Ooh.
Nice.
My mug here, I'm going to dedicate this one. This goes out to my Canadian buddies tonight. If my buddy Bill's watching, I think maybe Randy's watching. My buddy Doug, I know, is watching. My old hockey buddy. It's for you boys right there.
Welcome.
Cheers, everybody. All right. Thank you, Lonnie. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and we'll see you in a little bit.
How come every time I see Lonnie, I just want to start dancing?
All right.
A hat.
I like it. Now it's time for our scores of the week. These are the items that you should be on the lookout for when you're out thrifting. All right, there we go.
Oh, yes. This was a model. You know, our thrift store finally opened in town, and I got everything half off. We went back the second time. I got this. I think I paid $10. Sold it for $60 like in a couple hours, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was new.
You always like those quick flips.
Yeah, we accepted best offer. Lisa Frank, this little kitty cat's been with us for like 2 years. I paid $2.99 for it and finally sold it. My full asking price, $39.99. I always look for anything Lisa Frank.
Oh, look at that. Alan is 3 miles from Edgefield. Nice.
Is that an Oregon?
I would assume so. I got some Lisa Frank stuff. I got to get it listed. You showing this. I'm like, oh, crap. I got to get my Lisa Frank stuff listed.
Yeah, the older stuff. I don't think the new stuff does as well, but. Okay. There it is. Okay, Left Behind books. I had all but given up on these books. You know, they were written, I don't know, 20 years ago or whatever. There's a whole bunch of them. Because the price comes up and goes down and it crashes. And then the movie came out and the movie was a dud. And it didn't help the books at all. But then I saw recently that the price had gone up to like $89. So I picked these up on a half price day. And let's see, they sold for $48.99. I had them listed, I think, at $89, but kind of lowered the price and then accepted the best offer. So they're gone.
You got your old gold mining pans.
Yeah, I would like to say that I found these up there in the hills. We have gold hills by us.
Them there hills.
Yes. Actually, these washed up on the shores of our profit pile. I found these in the garage. I listed them and we sold them pretty quick. Let's see. We accepted a best offer of $52.99. The small one has Japan printed on the back. The other one I think might have came from San Francisco. It's real hard, but they're rusty, but someone's happy.
Very cool. All right. So selling Tiki mugs this week, as I always do. And the funny thing is, the reason I wanted to show this one specifically is I listed a bunch of Tiki mugs about 3 weeks ago, this being one of them, and a bunch sold. And I said to my wife the other day, I says to her, hey, none of the mugs from 3 Dots and a Dash have sold yet. She goes, that's weird. The next 3 days, all 3 of them sold.
Awesome. It works. It still works.
So, you know, it's not a return like my mother gets, but I only paid like $40 for the mug and $82 plus shipping. And I have a bunch. So then I just click relist. There's no extra work involved. It'll sell again. I'll make another $40, you know, easy peasy.
I like that one.
All right. So definitely wanted to share when I sold an Alfred Shaheen dress, and also to share again, you must, if you can find it, if you can afford it, get a mannequin with articulated arms and fingers, because you can do fun stuff like this. Throw in the shaka, got the hands on the hip, a little sassy. So it really adds to the atmosphere of looking at this picture. It's not just a straight mannequin straight up and down. It really puts a different look into it. And I love what Zoe, who takes my pictures for me, what she does with this. So very, very cool.
It kind of brands you too.
Yes. And, you know, I shared my Nirvana $500 t-shirt. Now, not nearly as exciting, but Mother's Finest was a band from the 70s, 80s. They came out of Atlanta. They were national, but they were really big in Atlanta. And hence I found this in Atlanta with a ton of stains and holes, but it was the original 81 tour shirt. And I picked it up at Buffalo Exchange for, I think, 15 or 17 bucks. And I sold it for $75 this week.
Those stains are party memories.
Oh, yeah. Every rock shirt I've sold in the last 2 months have had stains. So don't be afraid of stains. Stains are not, a killer, so to speak.
Yep.
Now, there was a stain on that Alfred Shaheen dress. Different story. Yeah. All right. We needed more room for mugs. I know. Shocker. So goodbye DVD collection. And so we started to list the ones that are worth some money, and some are flipping right quick. So DVDs are pretty much dead. You got to be very picky. But if you take the time to look through them, you'll find things like this. And the average selling price on this is $40 and sold within like a day and a half of being listed.
Nice.
And now from flipping cassettes to flipping CDs. Damn it, I did it again. I do it every week. Where the hell? Oh, there it is. Good guy. Now it's time for CD and cassette scores of the week. And as always, we start out with flipping cassettes first. I thought I had it this week, Deb, and I still screwed it up. I'm like, that's the one thing that's...
It's okay.
I found a way to fix that, so I'll hopefully fix it by next week. All right, a couple of cassettes this week, and then funny enough, I sold an amazing cassette today. That'll be for next week. Southern Culture on the Skids. I paid $2 for this cassette and sold it for $16.59. And I paid a quarter for the Pump Up the Volume soundtrack, one of Christian Slater's early movies, and it sold for $12. So I sold one cassette on eBay, one on Amazon.
Nice.
And now from flipping cassettes to flipping CDs. All right, at least that was smooth. I got it right. Like boom, 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 real quick. All right, so Van Dyke Parks bought this new at a record store in the used section. So if you can see in that picture, it's still sealed, and they only charged $5, and I sold it for $28. And who doesn't love a little John Travolta sweaty and shirtless? The Staying Alive soundtrack, the follow-up to Saturday Night Fever. As you can see, I paid $5. I bought it online for $5, and I sold it for $35.
Okay, I gotta ask, do you always take the pictures like this before you list it?
Well, this is on Amazon. So what I started doing is I just take this picture before we ship it. So that way I can make this graphic for the show. So this is on Amazon, so no pictures needed. Okay. But I wanted to show before we put it into a fresh case and send it off to its new owner.
So it's not you don't list it on eBay too. I was trying to figure out how.
No, I usually don't have them on both unless they're like $300 CDs.
Okay, makes sense.
And then wanted to show that I also sell on eBay just as much as I do on Amazon. Slipknot, I've taught about this in my Flipping CDs course. I had it listed for about 4 hours. I paid $4 for it, and it sold for $41.49. I've sold this CD about 30 times.
Okay, wait a minute. You paid $4. You had it listed for 4 hours, and you sold it for $41.
Yes.
You should go play 444s.
Hell yeah. And then lastly, I teased this in the group today. Would you have paid $50 for this Back to the Future soundtrack? And there is a little asterisk. You can only get the big money on Amazon. This sells routinely around $50 on eBay. And so I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for if I can get one around $30 on eBay, because I just sold this for $125. So when all the smoke clears, the $50 I put out, the Amazon fees, I cleared $55 profit. And that is nothing to sneeze at. You use your rewards credit card, you get your 50 airline miles, you make $55 profit. If you can repeat that over and over and over, that's how you make money.
Great commercial. I love it. So did that sell because it was 30th anniversary? Back to Future?
It could have. So what? So it just was just turning 30, huh?
Yeah, 30th anniversary. I was hearing one of our DJs on the rock channel from Sacramento was up in Sierra Nevada, wherever they filmed, I think number 3. They had The Who and Led Zeppelin. I mean, it's the Who, the ZZ Top, Led Zeppelin, and I think The Who were up there playing concerts while they were filming. This guy said he was riding his bike around, and then I guess one of the sets burnt down. I miss the old days.
The good old days.
The good old days. I can't believe it.
But wait, there's more. Hold up. It's time for Stacy's Budget Bin Scores.
Of these.
I almost thought we didn't have one this week, and then I was re-looking at the sales for this week. I'm going, oh, yeah.
Ooh.
So Stacy picked up this Bodine's, and I forget where it was because my assistant shipped it before I looked at it. But it was $1, and this is one of her better ones, $49.
Oh, my gosh. She's moving up there.
So when you can get back to sourcing, if you've taken my course, get your butt to the record store, look to the regular section, and look at the budget section. And I forgot, man, I haven't done a commercial for myself in forever. FlippingCDs.com. I have yet to hear anyone say, nope, there was nothing in there for me. Everyone who has taken this course, all my courses, I've done flipping CDs 1 and 2, flipping cassettes, all kinds of extras like that. People have taken it. You make your money back in one good CD purchase.
Right.
One. And then from that point on, it's all just pure profit. So
I'm sad we haven't sold a CD for a little while. About 2 weeks, I think we haven't sold one. But we keep looking.
So head over to flippingcds.com and get yourself signed up. And that way you can learn how to make $55 on one CD.
And the course might be tax deductible if you ask your accountant.
That too. Absolutely. Now it's time for Close Encounters of the Thrifty kind. No, it's not. No, it's not. Now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours. Whoops. Okay, here you go.
I'm glad you're in charge of that and not me. Okay, I love finding little borders of wallpaper and things, but I don't like it when they sit around for 3 years. That's crazy. It was $9.99 was my asking price, and they paid shipping, but 3 years. But they're just little. They don't take up a lot of space. But I would prefer things didn't sit that long. For $9.99, I mean, good grief.
Good grief. Get out of here.
Time to move.
Go.
And then this has been sitting also 3 years. Something about 2017. Some of our items for 2017 are starting to set, but some of them aren't. Great courses, Mr. Lincoln. It's only $18.99. It's CDs or DVDs, I think, and the book. And it's still sitting here after 3 years. So I don't know.
3 years. Get it gone.
Maybe.
Someone.
Isn't his birthday next February? Maybe by then it'll sell.
I think it's every February. All right. I like to share when I don't do so good on CDs. I accidentally downpriced this to the wrong price. So it sold for a whopping $2.91. I spent $1 on it. It should have sold for around $15. It's one of those nights where you're repricing stuff and you yawn and you accidentally reprice it. So be careful when you're repricing your stuff. Now, let's see if you can figure out why this one's a dud, Deb. I paid $1 and I sold it for $25.
It's missing a CD. Is it a two-parter?
Oh my God, you are quick. Yeah. Today I look on my desk. The CD is sitting right here.
Uh-oh.
I'm just working at my desk today. I look over, I go, well, that's not a good sign. The CD I shipped 2 days ago, the actual CD is still sitting here.
Oh, no. So there was nothing in the case when you shipped
Yeah, so they're about to get an empty case. So I'm going to write them tonight and let them know it's coming by itself.
Oh, thank goodness you didn't throw it away.
So pay attention to repricing and pay attention to what you're shipping out.
That's why I don't work when I'm tired. I told them
I'm a big goober.
I can't do it when I'm tired. I know I'll mess up.
Now it's time for Where in the World Did Our Stuff Go? If you are not shipping internationally, you are leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers. All right, Debbie didn't have any this week, but this is why we do this segment, because who would have ever thought that someone in Freiburg, Germany needed a local operating engineers union hat from Las Vegas?
Whoa.
I mean, I just want to ask, like, what? Now, what's even better, it was like a 1-2. What's even better was after he bought the hat, he's like, oh, hey, man, I'm going to buy this Hawaiian shirt from you also.
Oh, cool.
So there you go.
I was thinking the hat could be someone who's doing one of those home indie YouTube movies. You know what I mean? They might be making a movie and they need that hat.
I mean, crazy. I mean, all those hats I bought, so many have gone for, and I'm like, yeah, these were local unions to Vegas in like the 80s or early 90s of like construction guys. I just don't understand, but it's cool. I paid like a quarter.
Yeah.
I'd have for 25, sold this shirt for 25, put them together. They weighed just under a pound. It was perfect, and off it went.
That's why it's so important to ship international. They can't get this stuff. It's in our backyards, but they can't find it.
Now it's time for Close Encounters of the Thrifty kind. Okay, I've got the flow now, Deb. I think I got it. I think.
Are you sure this is the time right now?
Yeah, I got it. It's pretty nice. That thing pops up, then I can do the thing, and hey, it works. Okay, so we haven't sourced in forever. So how would have we had any Thrifty Encounters? But I sourced, and I have a two-parter from the same location. This is Buffalo Exchange, and my goal was they opened on Tuesday for the first time in like 3 months. My goal was to be in line by 11:30. They open at noon because I want to be one of the first ones in, because not that they've been getting stuff since they've been closed, but whatever the last stuff they got on the last day they were open really wasn't seen by anybody. So there is, even though it's 3 months old, fresh stuff in there. And I sold so much stuff over the weekend. I did double what I usually do on a 4-day holiday weekend, that by the time we got it all shipped, I was a little late. So I get there at 12:03, Deb, and they only letting 10 people in at a time. So me and a guy are standing there. They let him in. And so I am leaning against the door. It's 103 degrees. I'm leaning against the door in the place where it says line with my mask on. And these two younger guy and girl go to walk past me. I'm like, where are you going? The line's behind me. And he said, oh, you're in line? Now, I just said, yeah, but my head went, no, I just like hanging out the corner of doors in 103 degree heat. But then he doubled down on his stupidity and says, are you buying or selling? Now, if you don't know, Buffalo Exchange, you can sell them clothes. Deb, I'm holding one thing in my hand, my phone. I'm wearing a tank top, this sleeveless shirt and shorts. And he says, are you buying or selling? If I was selling, I would have some stuff. Wow. So that's the first half of the Thrifty Encounter. So I go to ring out, and the way the sales work at Buffalo Exchange, if it's on sale from the first half of the month, it's 25% off. And then from the 16th to the end of the month, it's 50% off. So I had a shirt for $24 on sale, should be $12. Rings up 18. I said, hey, did you guys change how your sales work since we've been off? And she said, no. First half of the month up to the 15th, everything got marked sales 25%. From the 16th to the end, it's 50%. I go, right. This $24 shirt rang up at 18. She goes, sir, like I told you, the first half of the month, and I let her say it again. I go, hey, I know we've all lost track of days, but it's May 26th. And she goes, oh, it is.
Was she blonde?
Nope. She's like, let me fix it.
Okay.
So the days have all melted into one in our brains.
I know we need masks that say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. With your face mask on and we can't see your mouth. Hey, chat, doesn't that look like Jason's chest hair?
And the bummer is, I went out today. I get this indent in my beard now, and you can't really brush it out. So,
oh wow!
So until we're not wearing masks on the norm, I'll have an indent in my beard.
Too funny.
All right. Now it's time for You've Got to Be Ship Me. What to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping.
Okay, I love Uline. I've been buying boxes from Uline for a couple of years. The problem is it gets a little expensive with the shipping. They are on my porch by the next day if I order them by 6 p.m. That's why I love them. And they're great boxes, but I got to the point where I'm like, there's got to be a better way. We just picked up a stack of Dungeons and Dragons books, really cheap, and they're going to sell real well. So I wanted a box, the right size. We just pop it in and ship them out. I'm tired of cutting boxes down. When you sell a lot of books, you don't need big boxes. So I got the idea to go on Amazon, and I ordered this from Amazon. Oh, you lost part of my graphic. Where'd the rest of it go? Did I give you the wrong thing?
No, that's all I got.
Huh, that's weird. This should have the whole it should have the whole graphic. Oh well, probably my bad. Anyway, I saved $9.25 by buying these boxes from Amazon with free Prime shipping instead of ordering through Uline. Even Uline's 32 count weight, whatever. I usually get 200. 32 was going to cost me like $35. So I never honestly thought to look on Amazon to buy boxes. Duh. So these are coming, 25 of them. And
it ain't me. It ain't me. There ain't no more graphic than this. I just checked.
Wow, I must have really messed up because I had it all pretty. Yeah, oh well. You get the point. I saved $9.25 by buying these from Amazon. So look for boxes on Amazon. Yeah.
All right. So I missed a couple quick things Stacy sent me. So let me back up real quick and say hi to, hey, Lola, what's happening? How are you? And Lola's here. And even cooler, where'd Kim go?
Ooh, thrifted fabric into masks.
There we go. Kim sold a reel-to-reel Frank Sinatra to Macedonia. See, that's why you ship internationally. And my mom's trying to tell me to cut my beard, and that's a big no, Mom. All right. So I might have shared this tip before, but since I had to do it today, I thought I would share it again. When you ship bobbleheads, if you just wrap them in bubble wrap, the heads will still be able to move. And depending on how violent the truck, the train, the plane, wherever it's going is, that's not good. Because the reason things break when they're being shipped is because they can move. So when you ship bobbleheads, take a little bit of foam paper and get it around the neck, kind of like they got a broken neck with a little neck brace on, and that keeps the head from moving. So it keeps it very stiff. Then you wrap it up with the bubble wrap.
Nice.
And that way, there's really no way that this could break now.
Good idea.
But nice try, Mom. Shucks.
Hey, Peggy, have him turn on a fire pit real high, real fast, and have him.
Yeah, no kidding. Now it's time for our online selling tips of the week. Doesn't matter if you're selling on Depop, Etsy, Mercari, eBay, or Poshmark. Here's some little tips and tricks to help you out when selling.
Okay, you might have.
That's kind of big.
Oh, now that's what my other one was supposed to look like, kind of like that too. Anyway, you might have seen me. I asked in a couple groups, does anybody use the new local pickup option in Crickets? CR was awesome enough to hook me up with a link of the eBay community. And they said it wasn't connected. It wasn't all the way working yet. And then the other night we had our Bay Area meetup group Zoom, Brian Burke and different people. And our good friend Trader Don just used it for the first time last Friday, I believe it was. What day is this? Thursday. Yeah, last Friday he said it worked great. So you sell it, you buy it, you have to have local pickup. They click it, they get a link with a code. And then you meet somewhere and they'll give you that code, and that is considered your tracking. And then they can't say, hey, I never got this. Well, yeah, you did. You gave me the code, and you can use PayPal to get the money. And so anyway, that's an update that is supposed to be working now.
So real quick to back up, and I can't wait to use that. I haven't had to use it yet, but I can't wait to use it because I like new things.
Me too.
Lola said she could make me a beard, a thing to encompass my whole beard. I'm like, oh yes, please.
Oh yeah.
And Elisa says, can you give bobbleheads a slice of pool noodle neck? I guess you could, but it's easier to do the little foam paper around it because you kind of got to get in there so it kind of holds it. The pool noodle, I think this is that rare instance where a pool noodle probably wouldn't be good because it'd be a little too stiff and not bendy. All right, so here's the question, Debs. The question we all struggle with: fast nickel or slow dime. And what we mean by that is, do you want to make a little less money and move things quicker, or do you have the room to store it and the time to be able to wait and let it marinate till you find the right customer. Now, it's not a one size fits all or one size fits all products, because some products are going to be quicker than others. And here's a prime example. This is the guitar tab book for Jethro Tull on the left, which I paid $1 for. Let me make that a little bit bigger. Woo, $1. And then Yngwie Malmsteen on the right, which I paid $5 for. Now, these guitar tab books, I've talked about them many times. They do quite well, but they're a little slow sellers. Okay, you need to wait for someone to learn guitar who wants to play some Jethro Tull. And prime example, the Yngwie was listed on March 28th, 2019, and the Jethro Tull was listed on January 25th, 2019. And here's the weird thing. They sold 60 seconds apart to different customers.
No way!
But one sold for 65 and one sold for 48. So can you wait to turn your $6 into $114?
I can.
So on these kind of books, you just got to wait for the right buyer and just be patient. And some things I would say don't wait that long. These are the things you wait that long. A good turn, but so weird, 60 seconds apart.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if they know each other.
I checked because I thought maybe the same guy, but nope, they were two different people. Now it's time for Unseasonably Sold. What did you sell out of season?
Well, first of all, I have to say, when you were doing Peggy's show, remember right in the middle of your show, we sold a Christmas mug, and I announced it, and you said, "Shh, don't tell anybody yet," but I didn't tell you how much I sold it for. It was the Life is Good Snowman Christmas mug. We sold it for $21.
Nice.
Plus shipping. I thought that was really good. Then this is our Beach Bomb Berry Christmas. It's not Christmas. Christmas Tiki Bowl. We sold, sold it for $139.99. We paid $60 at our favorite Jungle Bird, which I get to go to for my birthday tomorrow night. The Jungle Bird, we bought that there, and it took a little longer than we expected, but hey, Christmas sells anytime, so we're happy. And the buyer is extremely happy.
And if you can't tell what's going on here, it is Rudolph and Santa basically sitting in a hot tub.
Yeah, it's a bowl. It's nice.
All right, now what I'm about to share, I thought it was sold for higher, and I took a little bit lesser of an offer, but it sat for 2 Christmases, Deb, and I got an offer this week of May when it's like 120 bazillion degrees. So Republic Records is the home to Nicki Minaj, Ariana Grande, Drake, and this was a employee ugly Christmas sweater.
I love that.
The bummer was it was a small, so you're going to be a real limited who could wear that. But I got an offer at $35. I did pay 12 or 13, so I still made money. But it went through 2 Christmases. I listed $100 because to get something cool like this, I thought it was definitely worth $100. But man, getting an offer of 35 after 2 Christmases in May, I'm like, all right, cool, no worries, I'll take it right now.
That's nice.
All right, so since Debbie does it for everybody else, we want to make sure we had a happy birthday Malone and a happy birthday for Debbie. So, I haven't done any of the fun over top things yet, so let's do that. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you and you and you. Ooh, happy birthday, Debs.
Thank you. Now I'm the same age as my husband because he's a couple months ahead of me. Now we're both 62.
Yeah, just like my mom and dad. They're like 8 months apart.
Yeah.
There we go. Now I'll be over my shoulder until it dies, which these balloons last for months. So
What you do is you leave a door open and they somehow fly out.
All right, real quick, let's do a little quick housekeeping, and then we'll get on to it. All right, those of you in the Secret Beach, don't forget, tomorrow night we have our second Zoom interactive cocktail party with contests and prizes. And right before that, I probably should in the other order, is this month's webinar for the Secret Beach, sourcing from the comfort of your couch or your toilet, wherever you have a cell phone in your hand. If you don't want to go out and source, if your stores aren't open, there is plenty of ways to have stuff sent to your house. And all the websites I'm going to talk about tomorrow night, Deb, I actually sourced from while I was working on the presentation. So I've got all kinds of stuff coming to turn around and flip.
Okay, just tell us you weren't working on the presentation on the toilet.
Well, I can't. All right, this week we're going to do a little bit something different on Selling Past Your Expiration Date. I was going to do a thrift haul like on Saturday. Stacy didn't get to go with me this week because she was busy working. So I thought, I found some really, really good stuff. And I thought we'd do a thrift haul where Stacy sees it for the first time with me. And then Mom's like, what should we do this week? I go, I got an idea. So the first half of Selling Past Their Expiration Date is going to be my thrift haul. And then we'll do Mom's thrift haul and her scores and the usual stuff. So it'll be like an oversized thrift haul on Sunday, 7 o'clock East Coast, 4 o'clock West Coast. Now, this isn't a bad picture. This is a little tease. If you know what's going on in this picture, then you'll know what I found. If you don't, you're definitely going to want to tune in to learn something.
There's a clue. There's a clue in this picture somewhere?
Yes, I took this picture specifically this way. This is part of a logo.
I have an idea, but I'm probably wrong. But.
All right. And then next week, and this is one of the greatest photos we've ever gotten from a guest. My buddy Brian's going to be talking about selling video games, and he worked at some place in the 90s here. We have Nintendo. Oh my God, what an epic photo to have. So not the clearest photo, but we had to use that photo.
Yes.
So,
he looks like an actor. When I got that picture, I showed my husband. I said, doesn't he look like some actor? I'm trying to think. There was a guy that I thought he looked like. He was at a flea market, I think he said, when he was doing that. But I'm so excited about this show. Always excited about our guests. We only pick the best.
I still got to get the ding dong into the thing. So we'll just do it this way.
Don't call me the ding dong.
Ding dong.
Knock, knock.
Hey, Lonnie Oscar, how the hell are you?
Hey guys, how you guys doing tonight?
I'm good. I keep forgetting to drink. I've been so busy.
Yeah, it's social.
Are you on your second, Lonnie?
Oh no.
You looked a little fuller last time.
6-pack or 12-pack or what are you referring
to? We have a question in the chat. There's a Bill Wider wants to know if he missed your birthday.
Oh, no, you didn't, honey. You were with me. You took me out to dinner and you bought me that nice big storage bin locker thing from Sam's Club that I want. Sam's Club. Oh,
hang on. I gotta talk about one quick thing. So hold on a quick second. Sorry, Lonnie. I meant to do this before. We started a new a new post in the thrifting board, and it just started today. We haven't had a ton of participation, so I wanted to point it out to everybody. People would love to share their scores, and we want to kind of keep them all together. So it's easier, like the weekly haul, we're going to do the weekly scores. So here's the score of the week. And we just started this week. This is the first week we're going to do it. So that way, at the end of every week, you can sit down and go back and see what everyone's scores are in a nice, neat one place. And just here's a little example. Yeah. Vicky bought this watercolor Sydney Harbor for $30 and sold it within a week for $130.
Wow.
So
did it go international or did it stay in the US?
I don't know. So come on over and share your best score of the week. Doesn't have to be $1,000 item. Could be a $20 item. Especially for my mother, you probably paid a quarter for that $20 item. So the percentages is pretty awesome.
This is going to be fun.
All right. So Lonnie's here tonight. Hang on. Let me put Lonnie up top. Okay, there we go. So Lonnie's here tonight to talk to us about something near and dear to his heart. So Lonnie, the floor is yours.
All right. Now, yeah, Jason, honestly, I sure am. And as always, thanks for the opportunity. I absolutely love, and I mean love in capital letters, love vintage toasters. And I always have. So when Jason asked me to come on here and talk about them, I said I was more than happy to do it. Can you put up picture B14 there, Jason? I think it's...
Yeah.
Okay. This toaster I recently sold. It was a Sunbeam. It's extra desirable due to its auto drop feature and the cool deco appearance that it has, and it works really well. I grew up with toasters, and I went through a crazy intense bagel phase in my 20s. And Jason doesn't know I'm going to do this, but switching things up a bit, I'm even going to have a little demo tonight that I've prepared for you folks to show you the best way to slice a bagel safely. In this case, it's a cinnamon raisin bagel. And if you like Pop-Tarts, I mean, this thing makes the most perfect Pop-Tarts ever.
Lonnie?
So,
we are talking about posters.
Posters?
No, posters with a P.
Posters.
Like Paul. Posters?
That's awkward.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, that's different then, but all right. As they say, let's just...
Now, Deb, you're the producer. What the hell? How did you mess up?
I'm like going, oh no, did I do a goober again?
Was I properly edited? I'd like to ask, was I? All right, let's as they say, let's pump the brakes on that and swap it over.
Okay.
Posters are easier anyway. You know why? Because you don't have to worry about them burning anything. They don't leave you disappointed when you run out of the cream cheese. Posters are way easier. Let's talk about posters.
That's my favorite song and album right there.
All right, so I wanted to start with, after our shenanigans, I wanted to start with Debbie and I grew up, we're a little bit different in age and just a little bit different things on our wall. So I said, hey, Deb, tell me 2 posters you had on your wall. So this was one of them, Lonnie. This was one of them.
Oh.
And then I grew up a little differently because this was one of mine.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have slept at night.
And Wolverine. So, yeah.
Different eras for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. And I always got to give a good shout out to my mom. She never understood my music, but when I was a preteen, she was buying me Iron Maiden. She was buying me the Cramps. She didn't get it, but what a cool mom to always encourage her kids' love of music, no matter what it was. So,
Peggy.
Woohoo. All right. So, and we're talking all kinds of posters. This is what my wife had up. She was a nerd.
Makes sense.
And then who didn't have this poster up in the 80s? Because it came right in your Purple Rain record.
I missed that one.
You didn't have this hanging up?
No, by the 80s, I was a mom.
Mom said she did the best she could. You did a great job, Mom. Thank you. Oh, I had my Iron Maiden hanging up, and I had this Kiss one. So I had a good variety of posters. But and Lonnie probably knows who this is. I hope Lonnie knows this. But this was one of my favorite bands in the 80s.
That's 6 Sputnik.
No, you were supposed to tell. I was going to ask the audience.
Goddamn sorry.
We
you should have muted me. You should have muted me. I've been drinking, Jason.
I thought it was the Spice Boys.
All right, so audience, did anyone know who this was other than Lonnie and me?
They're skinny though.
I told them right at the beginning. We answered the question.
I'm kicked off this show forever.
I've never had to remove a guest 3 minutes into being a guest.
Security.
Lonnie, how many fingers am I holding up?
That's just 3. That's easy.
Yeah, so this is Zig Zig Sputnik. They had one killer album and one okay album, and they're pretty much done. Led by Tony James, he's the one on the far right, Fleece the World. He was with Billy Idol and Generation X. Absolutely played the hell out of it.
Yeah, I saw him play one time. He went out playing solo with Bret Michaels. Absolutely amazing. I mean, you wanted to scoot Bret Michaels off the stage and just bring Tony out. Actually, he played with Vince Neil once too on tour. Great.
Wow. All right, so
Billy Idol wasn't part of them, was he?
No.
That was one of those. Wasn't Billy Idol?
No. Him and Tony were in Generation X.
So I thought one of them.
Billy went solo. Tony created Zig Zig Sputnik. And what was unique about their record was they sold the dead space between the songs to commercials. It was the first piece of music with commercials on it. It was awesome. Wow. Absolutely awesome. All right, Lonnie is here tonight to talk posters. So let's talk posters, because unless you had those parents that like no thumbtack holes, we all had posters growing up.
I had posters all over the place. I mean, I was trying to think tonight what posters I had. And the first thought I had was, I mean, I know I had like Kiss posters, and I had the one thing for whatever odd reason stands out to me is I loved this band when I was in junior high, a band from Scotland called the Sensational Alex Harvey Band. And my mom, from the moment my mom told me that we were Scottish, I embraced all Scottish music. Nazareth, Alex Harvey, I mean, all these crazy Scottish bands I just embraced. And I could not find an Alex Harvey poster to save my life in the United States. God, my friends had never even heard of him. So I actually painted my own poster. And what I wouldn't do to have a copy of that right now, or even a picture of the damn thing. But anyway, so yeah, I had probably the same posters, a lot of them that you guys did too. But I also had the, the closet door full of ticket stubs and all that craziness too. But I think that, for me, when you're doing reselling and it's really important to at least keep your finger on the pulse of things that you genuinely have an interest in. And part of the reason that I love doing posters is because a lot of times I'll find, some old Poison poster or some old Kiss poster and something that I can genuinely get excited about. And that really helps when you're doing this every single day to have that sort of momentum going, something that is going to go to somebody else that's going to appreciate it as much as you do. So I love doing posters. I mean, I know that Jason's got some examples of some of the rock posters and music posters I've got online. That I love that John Lennon one. I just be real careful when you're selling posters to make sure that you research them properly, because there's a lot of repop stuff out there too. In particular, I see these pop up all the time in thrifting groups or whatever. Those cardboard lobby cards, like the Bill Graham, Jimi Hendrix, San Francisco ones. People find those things and they think they've got some kind of gold mine, and 99.99% of the time, they were bought in some head shop somewhere. They're total reproduction.
Or they were bought up in Virginia City in Nevada. I went into a gift shop, wall to wall, tons of those, and I went, wow,
everywhere.
They're all right here, and they're new.
Yep. So yeah, just use caution. Make sure whatever you have is authentic, obviously, and but some of them can fetch the money. Some of them you have to sit on for a while. I mean, I've got some posters. I think that police poster, Jason, I send you that. I might have had that thing for a couple of years. As soon as Sting gets his ass back in the news or something, maybe I'll sell that thing finally. But I've had that for a while. But overall, it's a fun thing to deal with. They're relatively easy to ship. One thing I'd like to point out when you're shipping posters, the USPS triangle tubes work real well. But if you use those, I personally reinforce them, because they're just not that sturdy. They work great for things like golf clubs and baseball bats and whatever. But if it comes to a poster, I usually put more cardboard in between or around it, or double box it almost, or find a creative way. One thing I actually do use is, guess what? Pool noodles. Sometimes I'll actually wrap posters around the pool noodle and put that in there, and then put another slice of cardboard in around each side. And it's, that I feel a lot more comfortable sending them than just putting them in some kind of a triangle box. The other thing that pool noodles come in handy for when it comes to posters, normally when you get those things, a lot of times in order to get good pictures, you have to back roll them. You take a pool noodle, wrap the back around it, and then roll it around there, and you can avoid all those creases and doing it by hand and manually and all that nonsense when you're trying to back roll a poster to make it flat so you can get pictures of it. So
nice.
Yeah.
So what I did was Bubble Fast, where I get a lot of my shipping supplies, and if you use is it Tiki Pug or Tiki Pug Music? I think it's Tiki Pug Music. You get a 10% discount. They had poster tubes, not real expensive, and I had just picked up like 80 posters. So I'm like, all right, just give me 100 tubes.
Smart
that way. So that way they're just ready to go, and it's more apt size to the poster than the triangle boxes.
Right. I'm the guy that gets in a pinch and goes down the block to the Office Depot and ends up paying $4.89 for a poster tube. That's probably about a 40-cent thing. Yeah. So
I would say, raise your hand, and that would be all of us. When you want something, you have to go to Staples, and you're like, well, that's 10 times as much as it normally is.
Totally.
But what's my choice at this point? There isn't really any.
Right.
Hey, how do you tell the difference between an original and a repro?
Tough to tell. I mean, research it, I guess, the same way you would anything. Go online, go to various forums or groups that specialize in that sort of thing and whatever. But just because when it comes to posters, just because it has the little C with a circle or any sort of copyright on it, that doesn't always mean that it's original either. I've got friends that do real well selling reproduction KISS posters that they fairly represent as reproductions that look amazingly like the originals too. So just be careful. I mean, the thing as with a lot of things, you can usually tell by the popularity of the band too. If it's a Led Zeppelin poster or t-shirt, the chances are going to be a lot higher that it's a repop than if it's like a Bodine's t-shirt, like you were talking about that CD earlier, Jason. Nobody's going to take the time and money and effort to like bootleg a Bodine's poster or a t-shirt or whatever for that matter.
Well, it's kind of like when I talk about sign stuff and someone said, where is it? Crap. That's where I need you to be looking too, Deb.
Oh, what am I
about does having a signed poster add value? Yeah, it does. But again, no one is faking the Bodine's autograph. People would fake Jim Morrison's autograph because there'd be big money in it. But yeah, the bass player and the Bodine's, no one's faking it, but it would add to the worth of it, though. I mean, because if I was buying a Zig Zig Sputnik poster and I had the choice of non-signed and signed, I would definitely take the signed.
Sure, absolutely. So, All right, one of my favorite poster sales, and I love this story. This is a personal favorite. A couple of years back, I bought a bunch of NASCAR posters and car posters from a guy that a lot of them are actually look like printer's proofs too. They're really unique stuff. And I've been slowly but surely over the course of the last couple of years listing all of them. One that I really liked was a girl by a vintage car wearing her little bikini. And you got that one up there, Jason? The model one by the...
Hold on.
All
right, so all right, let's walk through this because I had kind of set this up because someone asked about Farrah. Think about how this was like, oh my God, we can see her nipples, but now tame by today's standards, you know.
Totally.
But think of how many posters it sold. All right, don't answer, Lonnie. Don't answer.
Okay.
What is the fun fact about the day Farrah Fawcett died? Chat, tell me. I know it's weird to use fun fact and died, but what's the little fun fact about the day?
I remember.
Debbie and I were together, actually. What happened? What happened on the day Farrah died? All right. So while we're waiting for some answers, boom. Andrew was quick today. Yep. Poor Farrah Fawcett. Michael Jackson died 2 hours later. And as we were all starting to mourn Farrah, by the end of the day, it was Farrah who? Yep. All right. So
somebody else died too. I believe Mother Teresa died like the same day. Or
was that the same day?
I think you might be right about that, Debbie. There was
Mother Teresa too, because I don't remember that.
It was right around that time, and it was like nobody talked about Mother Teresa.
Right.
All right, Debbie, who is this? Because depending on when you grew up, you either had Farrah Fawcett or you had this woman hanging
Not
in.
Me. I didn't have no women in my bedroom.
This is a very famous, worldwide known woman, but this is when she was natural and young.
I can't think. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of who it is. It is on the tip of my tongue. Is that Britney Spears?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
I don't know.
This Stacy knows. This is a very, very young first modeling gig, Pam Anderson.
Oh, is she the beach lady?
The beach lady?
You know, Pam Anderson. Is she what is that movie? That
Baywatch.
Yes.
Oh, Baywatch. The beach lady. Man, you threw me. But yes, you're right. But I was like, the beach lady.
Beach lady.
So let's talk, girly posters because there ain't none higher.
There's none
than
higher
Helen
than
Keller,
baby.
You might have had Farrah, you might have had Pam Anderson, but you haven't lived till you've rocked a Helen Keller.
One of my favorite listings. I mean, someday somebody's going to come along. We all have those listings. You're just willing to list and wait until the right buyer comes along. I'm going to wait until the right person that comes along that's a big Helen Keller fan to buy that baby and put that on their bedroom wall.
Yeah, or a teacher, or
In truth, Debbie, I do real well with some of those educational posters. I've sold specifically Martin Luther King ones when it comes around Black History Month or Martin Luther King Day, that sort of thing. Yeah. The vintage ones do very well, and most of the ones that I sell that I buy are ones that are pre-laminated too, so you don't have to worry so much about that. They've got that going for them. So I thought I'd toss that one in the mix just as a heads up if anybody sees those old Instructo ones.
From Helen Keller to this.
Well, the people demand girly ones. Jason advertised it. I saw it. He clearly said girly posters. So
and you delivered.
I delivered. I haven't actually got to listing this one yet, and it's got that little rip up there next to her right ear, the poor little thing, and that's just, I don't know.
And how unnatural is that?
I know. Somebody's going to love that poster enough that they're going to be able to touch that up and hide it. I guarantee it.
Because here's where I bet a lot of these end up is guys our age that this was the poster they had when they were 20 in their first apartment with their three buddies. But
Total
now,
man cave poster somewhere down next to a pool table.
They got their garage where they're tinkering, and that's what was going to buy this.
Absolutely.
A 19-year-old boy isn't going to buy this San Miguel beer. But
the nice thing about it is that guy down in his basement with his pool table's got a lot more money than a 19-year-old kid does. So.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk hilarious.
This is one of my favorite poster stories. So I bought a big bulk lot of posters from a guy. It's got to be a couple of years ago. I even went back for half price day to buy the rest of the posters he had in his garage. And he worked for a printing company or something, but he had all kinds of these. And over the course of the last couple of years, whenever I run out of stock or whatever and need a little something to list, I always reach for these posters, start listing them. Well, this was one of my favorites early on. And so I got this one listed right away. And I got a message shortly after. It sold. I think this thing sold probably within about a week. And after it sold, I got a message from the buyer. And the buyer said, if you happen to have another one, I'd be happy to sign it for you. And I'm like, so you're the model in the picture? She says, yes, I am. Oh. And I said, well, I don't have another one, but I'm thrilled that you bought it. And that's really cool, small world craziness right there. So I'll get it off to you and send it out tomorrow. And I decided that I had to Google who she was and figure out who she was. It turns out that some 20 plus years later after the fact, she won the Teacher of the Year award in a school district not far from here. And so that is her right there in the middle of the picture. That is the same girl.
Whoa, I wasn't expecting that.
How's that for the twist you didn't see coming?
No, seriously.
How's that for the end of the Sixth Sense? There you go.
Absolutely. So that's just, when eBay is full of those all those little small world weird things that happen once in a while, and that's one of my favorites to be honest.
Now, Lonnie, I'm guessing you didn't know her name beforehand, so when you listed the poster, she was just looking for her old poster, not by her name, obviously.
I would assume so. I have no idea exactly how she found it, but she seemed to find it quick, and she left me great feedback when she got it, and so yeah, another happy customer. So
this is what you're working on right now, is a whole bunch of.
I've been listening to a lot of the NASCAR posters, and I think that, given the nature of the world these days and the fact that that's one of the first sports that's truly come back and it might even find some newfound popularity, it seems like a smart move to, capitalize on that a little bit. So I've been making my way through those NASCAR posters and trying to get as many of them on as I can. So.
Nice.
How many NASCAR posters do you have in your bedroom wall, Deb?
None. But I do remember.
I didn't either.
Somebody I went to high school with, she was a very beautiful gal. And when I worked at Fred Meyer up in Washington State, and I went into the bathroom, and down the back of the door, well, here was this gal that I went to high school with holding a football. It was a Budweiser commercial. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at her. But that was as close as I got to anything like that.
Right.
So, hey, Lonnie, you sent me this picture. Is this one you're selling? Is this one of your own? What is this one?
That's one that's on eBay right now.
That was
part of a big bulk lot of like music posters I found. There's a couple of really cool punk rock ones on there. I mean, I don't know how many people have actually heard of the band Chelsea, but being honest, my daughter's named Chelsea, and she wasn't named after the president's daughter. She's named after the punk rock band right there in the middle. So, there is that. And the Elvis Costello song, I don't want to go to Chelsea. But
wait a minute, Lonnie, you told me you might get your hair cut into a mohawk. Was that what you were kind of considering right there?
Maybe subliminally, Debbie. Maybe looking at that poster tonight when me and Jason were sort of plotting the show, maybe that's what, inspired me to start thinking about that again.
Hey, you can rock that.
I think I might. We'll see.
Shut up. Mister, I have hair still.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry.
Well, a little jealousy in the back row there. I can.
Oh, hell yeah. I would so love to have a mohawk again.
Get a fake one, Jason. No one will know.
Yeah. Those days are so long gone. All right. So one thing I wanted to point out, Lonnie and I were talking about this before we went live, is, Lonnie, how do you, when you're taking a picture of a poster, what's your method to get it flat so you can take the picture?
I suck. A lot of times what I'll do, I've got a couple different ways I do it, but being honest, I've never mastered that. Sometimes I'll have like Lindy hold them up if that's the situation is such that works out well. Other times I'll lay them on my regular photo table, and I find hockey pucks invaluable. I'll put a hockey puck at each corner to hold them down. And in a desperate moment, I'll use coffee cups to hold them down and sort of keep them straight. And if I do that, though, I always try and get as many good pictures from every angle as I can so people can see the entire poster and the corners and that sort of thing. So anyway, that's how I do it. I've tried briefly a poster frame, and I was talking to Jason earlier, and he said he had a plexiglass solution that's worked out pretty well for him. So maybe he can share more about what that has done with his pictures.
Yeah, my buddy was in the game, and he got out, and he said, he came over to my house one day. He goes, I have all these LP mailers, these 45 mailers. You want to buy my stuff at me at a discount, off me at a discount rate? I said, sure, I'll need them. And they said, hey, I was doing posters, and here's a big piece of plexiglass that I had bought. And as you can see it, there it is. So for the first time today, my helper and I tried it out, and she started to roll one way, and I started to push it over, and it kind of flattened it out. And I said, all right, I think if we had Stacy helping us too, it'd be pretty easy, and gives it an easy way to take photos. I got a little step stool, I stood above it, and I got the right angle where you can't see me, anything else, and it keeps it nice and flat. And then I went in on the corners so you can see if there's any damage. So so I'll be doing that all weekend, and I'll then let you know more how it worked or didn't work, and as we're going through it, rather quickly.
I was wondering, could you use magnets in the corners if you could get little magnets, and if you could get a magnetic whiteboard? You know how they have those office whiteboards that you can write?
I'd have to have a big whiteboard, but yeah, I mean, for sure.
If you had something magnetic and you could stick your refrigerator, you could stick the coaster to your refrigerator.
Sure. I think for me, the biggest problem isn't actually just setting up and displaying them for the pictures. It's the glare. I mean, that's what it is. And, somehow, Jason, well done with those pictures with the plexiglass there. It looks like you've sort of
we had to take a bunch
because are way better than the ones I have.
Yeah, it was too close to the window, and we kept moving it, and then I could see the metal of the hanging part of the lamp in the kitchen. I'm like, all right, now we got the angles. So yeah, it's really about the angles. So you don't see you and your phone and the ceiling fan. So
the toaster and.
All right, so we talked about posters. So let's end on this. Where you normally find your posters, Lonnie, when you're outsourcing?
I mean, generally, being real honest, it's not something I tend to go out and actually look for to cultivate, but I run across yard sales and garage sales. I mean, I don't see that many of them at the traditional thrift stores, to be honest. It's usually like at a garage sale situation or an estate sale.
So good question, though. Randy said, what's the most expensive poster you've sold?
Oh, Randy, God damn it. I don't know. Let me try and think.
Randy is son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's Canadian. I have to forgive him for that. I honestly don't remember right now. I'm gonna have to plead the fifth on that. I know I've sold a few that went for some pretty good money, but it was another Helen Keller one. People love that.
All right. So one thing we're almost at the top of the hour, but we want to do scores and one dud. But Lonnie, because look, Lonnie, all of us have been stuck home. And hopefully you've been cleaning through your profit piles, cleaning up your office. And Lonnie's done some amazing work cleaning up and organizing. Look at how nice.
It's been cool. I honestly thought that was kind of brilliant, the idea of having pegs on the ceiling to like hang the coffee cups and stuff. And, utilizing every space possible with the fancy hats, the nicer hats that you don't want to obviously have crushed or that sort of thing.
Genius.
I'm not going to lie. You got to be a little diligent about looking out for spiders before you ship them. But, I'm a David Bowie fan. I'm used to spiders. So, that's just one change I've sort of made of many through this time we've been spending at home. So,
I mean, just look at this, Deb. This is amazing.
I just added that rack in the other day because I've got 6 other clothing racks, and that one is strictly like hoodies and sweaters that up till now had been sort of folded on a shelf. And I am so over things being folded on our shelf. I'm trying to get every single thing that I can hang on and finding a spot to do it. This makes the world so much easier.
Can we come thrift? That just looks like a thrift store waiting for us.
We'll talk after, Debbie.
All right, so Deb, here's the deal. You're not allowed to get any more guests on that. A, show off how much hair they still have. And B, show off a badass basement.
Okay, I got it.
Because one thing I do miss about living in Vegas, no basement.
That's true.
No basement. Look at that. I mean, just like I'll give you a round of applause. I'm going to give I'm going to give you some fireworks because this is just absolutely awesome.
Now, when I see a basement, the first thing, because I've never owned one. My husband had one, but I never had. Don't they flood a lot? I always hear about people's basements.
They could if they're not built well.
If they're not built well, but this one, it's actually moving into this place. My wife and I has been an absolute blessing for us. The owner is a good friend of ours, and he has the second floor. We have the first floor, and he's taken all the sort of run the gutters off outside to the exterior part of the yard. So there's no drainage issues at all. It's completely dry. I've never had an issue.
Okay.
I mean, that said, I take, basic precautions to make sure that things stay dry. But I for the most part, I don't really feel like I need to.
Look at numbers too. Look at the big numbers. I mean, this is how we all should be, really.
Can I share some with you guys? After I bought those bins, I went on eBay. I've been more excited to get those stupid yellow numbers to color match them with those bins than anything I've purchased in the last 10 years. I swear. I mean, when those things showed up and the postman brought those, I'm like, I've got my yellow numbers and I'm going downstairs. And I'm a man on a mission.
I love it.
I love it. All right. So before we get to your scores, what's this basket of laundry here?
One thing that I realized during this time at home, first of all, you know, honestly, this is quite possibly one of the best things that could have happened to me as a reseller. It's given me time to take pause and sit back and sort of retool everything I'm doing, reevaluate everything. And one thing that I've been doing that I never thought I would do, that you should do, but I haven't, is been doing an inventory of everything I have. So I've been going through all kinds of stuff, like just taking my t-shirts and stuff and organizing them and numbering bins and trying to make my world going forward an easier and more organized place.
Smart.
And I just went through my black t-shirts, and that basket there represents all the black t-shirts that I found that for whatever reason didn't get relisted, fell off of eBay due to a glitch, or maybe were returns that I forgot to relist at some point, or whatever they are. And it took me half a day to go through, and I've suddenly got a bin full of probably 25, 30 t-shirts that are super cool because I'm the one that picked them in the first place. So it's been a good stopgap during the time when you can't go out to the thrift stores. In a sense, I'm thrifting my own stuff again. And I've been amazed how much of these things that I've went through and relisted that I've pulled out of my inventory that were on there in the first place, it sells like crazy. I mean, and so through this process, not only am I getting more organized, but I'm selling things that were on my shelf to begin with that weren't even listed. So it's been really a win-win. So
found many. Lonnie, are you a full-time eBay seller? Do you have another job?
I have no idea. Full-time for probably about a good solid 7 years anyway.
Okay.
I have my answer. I'm assuming yours are probably the same. Have you sold one sheet movie posters? Would you leave them folded or roll them?
If they were originally folded, I'd leave them in the original state.
Oh yeah,
folded.
And technically they'd be easier to ship too. So leave them folded.
Yeah. And one more quick point I want to make about my whole retooling situation is the fact that, you know, another thing I've noticed is that, you know, just humbling a bit, looking at some of my older listings I had, I've gotten a lot better at stuff. And so as I'm going through and doing inventories of shirts, if I look and go, oh, that's a horrible picture, you know, I'll just throw it aside, end it on eBay, and throw it in another basket where I'm going to just start over again and shoot pictures from, you know, because obviously over the course of time, we all get better at this. That's just human nature, you know, as we go along. And I look back on some stuff, there's things when I really started going full time that are downright embarrassing. I mean, fuzzy pictures I put on there, I'm like, did I really list that or no? So that honestly, I've thought about that in the back of my mind for a long time, and I've always intended to do that. But that's just one more thing that, you know, this whole stay-at-home order has sort of accomplished for me. It's put me in a position to be able to do that, and it's paid a lot of dividends.
Nice.
Awesome.
So yeah.
All right, you only had one dud, which is pretty awesome.
You know, and this is just like sort of a reminder. It wasn't even really a dud. The duddiness of this was in the sense that when I went to ship this belt, the buckle itself just literally disintegrated in my hand. Oh, you know, I mean, where it was held on fell apart, and I looked and I'm like, oh. And, you know, as resellers, we all hate the same things. And one of the things that's always near the top of our list is telling a buyer that we've got an issue with whatever we're selling them. So I sent them a nice note, and I refunded them fully and also sent them the belt, because it honestly wouldn't have been that difficult to repair, but I didn't want to be the guy to repair it and depend on that repair to send it to them before. I thought I'd let them make that decision. So that's another thing. It's never occurred to me. I know with shoes and boots, you end up with dry rot and there's issues there and things you need to check, but a belt buckle, it never occurred to me to twist it or try it or bend it or anything to make sure that the hook that the belt goes through is still firmly connected. That was what the issue with this one was. So just another thing when you're listening to think of, and maybe, you know, check that before you do it. Because a lot of these older belts, I mean, these are things from the 60s and 70s and 80s or whatever. So.
Oh, yeah. Great tip.
And great photo, though. I mean, even though it fell apart, but great photo. I mean,
thank you.
Great opening photo. All right. That's sad. Now let's be happy. Let's talk.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was one right before the stay-at-home order, actually, and one of my favorite little old lady Christian thrift stores.
Oh,
I think it was $2 or something, and I don't think that lasted more than a month before somebody came along and paid full price for it. I knew as soon as I saw that shirt, the embroidery and everything on the back, and Tommy Bahama being Tommy Bahama, that, and I would have been happy to even sit on that for a year if it took that long to sell it. But I knew at some point somebody was going to come along and be willing to spend that kind of money for that shirt.
$2. Wow.
When I saw it, I was happy for you. Then I saw what it said. I was sad. It wasn't my size.
I'm not going to lie. I thought about that when I found it, Jason.
Hell yeah. All right.
So, here's a good example of one that I did sit on for a while. I had some friends locally that would offer me money on Facebook or whatever, going, dude, you still got that Glock hat? I want to buy it. I'll give you $25, $30. I'm like, it's not 25 or $30. It's $100+. And it was probably listed for probably a year anyway, But again, that's fine. If I've got something that eventually is going to make bank, I'm happy to sit on it and just forget about it and put it into a bin with my other stuff and just, let it. And the guy that actually bought this hat, a little bit of a backstory, he's kind of my new BFF. I mean, this guy bought this hat. I hate to say this guy's bought things from me every single day for probably he did miss a few days, but nearly every single day for the last 3 weeks. He messages me every day. Do you have any bow ties, Lonnie? Your store is my spirit animal. Do you have any of this? Do you have any of that? I mean, I will look and go to ship things and go, oh, Luke, it's you again. Really? Oh, and I'll start feeling guilty about it. And I realized that some of these things he's accepting a best offer on them. So I messaged him the other day and I said, Luke, just so you know, when I send a best offer, they just go out there to whoever's watching, and I don't know who that is. So I just want to be clear. I'm not trying to pry money out of your pocket specifically and mess you back like, Lonnie, I love your store. I don't even care if you do. I'm going to start buying stuff as much as I can. And he gave me a long list of things that he's looking for. So, there's nothing wrong with having a good repeat customer. And I've got
I was just going to say, I need that customer. And Thrift Raider said, I wish my store was someone.
Yeah. So,
Me too.
And he's a cool dude. And, we all have our little curiosities. So I Googled him, and he's kind of a nerdy guy that loves bow ties and whatever. Not the kind of guy that I could see wearing a Glock hat, but he loves it. So let him do it.
Are you sure he's not buying props for a movie? He's not a fan.
He is not buying props for a movie, although he seems like the guy that might do that. But he's a younger guy that just loves, yeah.
Fun. That's awesome.
Although I've certainly sold my share of props for movies too. But anyway,
Dang,
this is one
cringe.
This is one that's got history attached, because this was one out of Lonnie Oscar's personal collection.
Ooh.
That was purchased.
Who is this Lonnie Oscar you speak of?
Yes, this one was purchased on St. Mark's Place in New York City sometime in the 90s. And I rocked that baby a long time and decided finally that, like with many things, eventually the time comes to find another home for it. So I've had that listed for a couple of years. And finally, I wish I would have grabbed a screen grab with the couple that bought it. Because it's this crazy eccentric couple down in, I think, near Nashville or somewhere in Tennessee that collect vintage clothing. They've had articles written about them in magazines and stuff. They're super cool. I Google them. And he sent me a message after he got it. He just loves it. And so it's just, it's always a nice feeling to rehome something and know that it's being appreciated, when you have, especially when you have memories attached. When you have, memories attached to me, it's cool. So
at least you got a picture of it now too. Do
yes.
they actually wear these clothes? Do you know if they wear all the clothes that they buy?
They certainly appeared to. They had a little bit of an older couple, but kind of a rockabilly vibe, and they seem to totally love all that stuff. So yep.
Good sexy friend.
Angela would love this. I just knew it. I almost said it out loud and I should have. I'm like, uh-oh. All right, let's end on this awesomeness. Oops. What?
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah. Actually, Lindy found that at the Goodwill outlet.
The Goodwill outlet. So you paid what? 72
Well, she always, when we sold it, she reminds me, like, babe, remember, that wasn't cheap. That's heavy. That cost a lot of money. I'm like, well, it was like $10, 10 pounds. It cost $7.90. So it really wasn't that much money, but we'd sat on that thing for a couple of years too, but it was a gorgeous blanket and or tapestry or wall piece or whatever it was. And again, another thing, the right buyer came along at the right time and wanted it, and great feedback. They loved it, and it was good to find a good home for it.
Wow, almost $600?
Yeah. And yeah, back when we found that, I think things were probably 79 cents at the outlet, and it was about 10 pounds, if I recall. So it was somewhere between $8 and $10 max. So
wow. Oh wow.
Yeah, gorgeous piece.
That is awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. You got 115 live. Give us some thumbs up down below. Give Lonnie a good old thumbs up. Lonnie's a man full of a ton of knowledge on a variety of stuff. So Debbie already told him he'll be coming back more often so we can talk shenanigans. So give us a thumbs up down below. If you've not ever subscribed, make sure you subscribe and click the bell. The bell lets you know when we're going live or when I put up new videos. And don't forget, Mom and I will be back on Sunday with an awesome thrift haul. I showed Lonnie one of the things I thrifted today.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about selling out of season. I'm thrifting out of season, so you got to tune in Sunday to see what I found. And Debbie, you will love it. And I know you will love it. So
now, has your mom worked through all the old stuff that she had? Her
no, not yet.
Oh, good.
But they did go out and pick up some new stuff. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Good to spend a little over an hour with everybody. Good to see you, Lonnie. I hope to see you in the near future, live and in person, and down a couple with you. So cheers.
Absolutely.
Tell your wife hello.
And Deb.
Will do.
Happy birthday, my dear.
Happy birthday, Deb.
Thank you. I'm not even older. I stopped at 18.
So have a wonderful birthday tomorrow night. And thank you, everybody. Good to see everybody. We'll see you back here on Sunday. And then again next Thursday. We're talking video games next week. So tune in.
List. People are buying.
Oh, heck yeah. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night, everybody.
Find those toasters.
That's right.